Well, let's go ahead and get started. Welcome to ooh, South Carolina here in Williams Bryce Stadium, home to the Gamecocks, holding 77,000 strong as sandstorm is fading off into the background as we will have kickoff here. South Carolina deciding to go with the blackout tonight as they will host the Georgia Bulldogs wearing their traditional red helmets, white jerseys, and red pants. The rooster is crowing as the Gamecocks welcome in Alvin Cambridge, the junior starting quarterback who got some playing time last year, but this year has been on a terror. 29 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, one good game away from breaking 3,000 passing yards. Got some playing time last year, starting one game where they won that game. He had a good game there, so has continued over. Perfect season so far for him and the Bulldogs, facing off against a very good quarterback in redshirt senior Corey Silas, who's also had a fantastic year so far, throwing for 33 touchdowns, 5 interceptions, and just over 3,000 yards passing, 7-1 record for the Gamecocks. Um, Georgia looking to maintain their dominance in the SEC, and here it is right here with a tough SEC East opponent. And winner here will most likely represent the SEC in the SEC championship game, which gets me excited being the SEC commissioner. As Georgia will win the coin toss and will elect to defer. They'll get ball in the second half. As Jamal Ball tees this one up, and it is kicked away, and we have game day here. Buck Doolittle take it from the 10-yard line. He'll get a 19-yard return, and it'll be 1st and 10 Gamecocks in their own 29. Out trots Corey Silas against a very good Georgia defense. They will have to get all areas of the game going tonight. Run, pass, everything. As first down, Silas feels the pressure immediately as Georgia sends an all-out blitz, and Silas has to throw this ball away incomplete. While I'm here. Second down. Handoff. Brett White will go up the middle, falls forward after the initial hit, and it knocks him forward a little bit more. He'll get a 6-yard gain. It's 3rd down and 6. Or sorry, 3rd down and 4. Georgia showing blitz yet again. Silas tries to make some play call changes, and he does. Takes the snap, looking, feels the pressure, throws this ball away, and it falls incomplete as it will bring up a 4th down, and they will have to punt the ball away. The Georgia defense sends pressure and gets to them. Making my notes. Okay. Punt away, 39-yard punt, 25-yard return by Justin Spears, netting a 14-yard punt overall. And Georgia will have it 1st and 10 at the South Carolina 49. They did not block the punt, but they did bring pressure. First and 10. Handoff to Daniel James. James gets 0 yards in the play. Cambridge drops back to pass, feels pressure, has to throw this ball away. Uh, Sails it over the receiver's head. It falls incomplete. Third down and 10. Cambridge drops back to pass. Pump fakes over the middle. Decides to throw it above the safety, and it's a big jumping grab for Ronnie Fredericks for a gain of 18 and a first down. Handoff, Dogwood Maple as he rushes it up the middle. He gets to the second level before he's even touched, and it's a gain of 11 on the play. Going back to the hot hand, Wood Maple gets the handoff 13 yards, who bounced it to the outside after the initial surge, and it is first and goal, Georgia. From the 7, Georgia drops back to pass, looking. Cambridge fires, and flags fly as Alan Jackson comes down with it for the touchdown. 7 yard hookup, Cambridge to Jackson, but there is a flag on the play. Unnecessary roughness. Defense will be declined. Touchdown will stand as the extra point is up and good as Jamal Ball nails the extra point, and it's 7-0 Georgia. 10:54 left in the first quarter. Ball kicks this one deep, and it will be a touchback. Georgia defense keeping up with the pressure. Handoff as they read the run all the way and is blown up for no yards. South Carolina goes back to the run game, this time with Buck Doolittle, who has met the line of scrimmage again, and it's only a gain of 1 on the play. Third down and 9. Silas drops back to pass. Looking, can't find anything. Finally does the last second, throws it, and it's in and out of the receiver's hand as it falls incomplete as Caleb Reddick was covered. And it's going to be a turnover after the punt. Brett White gets a poor punt, gets on the side of his foot, and Justin Spears gets a great read on it as he has a running start as he catches this one, gets a great block on the outside, and gets it all the way up past, and he's going to be brought down by the punter as he'll get a 27-yard return on that, netting -1, and it'll be first and 10 Georgia on the South Carolina 25. Georgia can put this one away somewhat early and take all the momentum away. First and 10. Handoff to Jackson, who gets a 3-yard gain. Wood Maple gets the handoff, rushes up the gut, has some room, gets past the first down marker, and a punch out ball. And the ball pops free, and it's a fumble on the ground, and it's going to be recovered by South Carolina. Dogwood Maple fumbles the ball and is recovered deep into South Carolina territory at the 14, and South Carolina has a little bit of life in them. First and 10, Silas drops back to pass, and he fires over the middle. He finds Cody Finch for the jumping catch as he'll get a gain of 14, and that will be Silas's first completion of the day. New running back comes in. Hollister gets the handoff, rushes up the gut, and he gets a 4-yard gain. Silas tries to set up the play action, and it's going to be a sack. Jamal Bush gets back there, a loss of 8 on the play, brings up a third down and 14, and that's where the drive dies. Handoff to Brett White for a gain of 4 yards, and it'll be fourth and 10 at the 28. Brett White, doing running back and punting duties, kicks this one away, and he aims it out of bounds, and it is a 37-yard punt, no return on the play. First and 10. Daniel James gets a handoff for a gain of 5. Second and 5. Cambridge completes the pass to Fredericks on the outside, and he gets pushed out of bounds for a gain of 18 on the play. First and 10 at the South Carolina 42. Complete pass on a screen play to Jackson out of the backfield, who gets a little bit of room, gets a great block on the outside, and he gets the first down and a gain of 13 on the play. First and 10, 29. Cambridge finds Fredericks again, this time on a comeback route, who couldn't get good footing as he slips and falls after he makes the catch. It is a gain of 16 on the play and another first down, and they're in the red zone. Cambridge has all the time in the world, decides to scramble out, looks late, fires. He finds his man Fredericks again, this time in the end zone. A gain of 13 and a touchdown on the play. Georgia's extra point is up and good, and it is 14 to nothing. Georgia. 4:06 left in the first quarter. Kickoff taken from the 5-yard line. Doolittle gets a 22-yard return. First and 10. Silas hands the ball off to Doolittle. Doolittle searches ahead and he gets an 11-yard gain. First down. Silas drops back to pass, completes it to Reddick, and he gets a 6-yard gain. Second and 4. And then 2 incomplete passes leads to yet another South Carolina punt. Not a great day for the South Carolina offense as they punt this ball away. 28-yard punt, 17-yard return as Georgia yet again starting off in great field position at the 45-yard line. Handoff to James, who gets a 3-yard gain. Cambridge keeps it for himself, surges ahead. He slides down at the first down marker, and it's a gain of 7. First and 10. Cambridge drops back to pass, looking, fires over the middle. It's going to be intercepted. Jarrett Lewis jumps in front of this ball, takes it up the field before he is knocked off his feet for an 11-yard gain after that. And it'll be first and 10, South Carolina on the interception. The second turnover of the day for the Bulldogs. South Carolina, first and 10, their own 47-yard line. Hand the ball off to White. He gets a 4-yard gain. Silas drops back to pass, tries to set up the screen. He finds Cody McNeil on the screen, gets a couple of blocks, and he gets past the first down marker when he gets knocked off his feet, and it's a first down in Georgia territory. Hand off to White as it is a 8-yard gain, and that's the end of the first quarter. Georgia's up 14 to nothing. But the Gamecocks are currently driving. Second and 2. Silas drops back to pass, feels pressure, has to throw this ball away. It's going to be batted at the line of scrimmage for an incomplete pass. Third down and 2. Handoff to Doolittle. Rushes up the middle, and he gets a half of a yard. They give him a yard, and it brings up a fourth down and 1 at the Georgia 32. And Coach Indiana Bond will leave his offense out on the field as they're going to go for it on 4th and 1. Line up, pistol formation. Silas fakes the handoff. Looking, he's rolling out. Has a man, throws it, and it's in and out of his hands as it was a hospital ball that was thrown, and knew that he was going to get blown up, and he just short-armed it, and it will be a turnover on downs as Georgia will take over on their own 32-yard line. Handoff. Wood Maple gets it, and he rushes ahead for a gain of 10. Maple again, rush for 15 yards, and just like that, they're in South Carolina territory. Handed off to James, loss of two, but James makes up for it with a gain of six in the next play. Third down and six. Cambridge on the RPO keeps it for himself, bounces it to the outside, gets past the first down marker, makes a man miss before he jogs out of bounds for a 12-yard gain, and it's first and 10 at the South Carolina 27. Cambridge drops back to pass, fade route to Jackson, who catches the ball and is pushed out of bounds for a gain of 18, and it's going to be first and goal from the 9-yard line. Georgia has a chance here to go up really big. First and goal, hand the ball off to James, who surges ahead, breaks a tackle, and to fall forward, and he gets a 7-yard gain on the play. Hand off to Wood Maple, who is met at the line of scrimmage for no gain. Hand off to James, who also gets a no gain, and it's fourth and goal from the 2. Dogwood says kick it, and that's what they do. Jamal Ball nails the 19-yard chip shot as we are uh, Georgia extends their lead 17 to nothing. 9:41 left in the second quarter. Kickoff will be a touchback, and South Carolina has it first and 10. Silas keeps it for himself, and he gets a 13-yard gain on the play. Handoff to White for a gain of 2. Silas drops back to pass, throws it to Reddick on a curl route, spins around and is blown up after he makes that first initial move. And it'll be a gain of 14 on the play into Georgia territory. Silas keeps it for himself, rushes ahead, and he slides down for a gain of 7. Hand the ball off to White, who gets a gain of 2 on the play, and it is now fourth and 1. As we have a delay of game on the play, which makes it now fourth and 6, and somehow the Georgia safety Magnusian got injured on that play during the delay of game. Yeah, he's holding his foot, so I don't understand how that happened. But fourth and 6 looks like they were potentially going to go for it, but they decide to punt this ball away as Georgia will now take over in their own territory. 33-yard punt, no return, and it will be taken from the 9-yard line. First and 10. Georgia trying to make up some room. Well, no, they run the play action instead of handing it off. Cambridge has time, tosses it out to his running back that they left all alone. James gets it, gets past the first down marker and more before he is knocked off his feet. A gain of 25 on the play, as that was a big play for them. Incomplete pass, incomplete pass. Wood Maple rushed it for a gain of 7 as they have to punt this ball away. 41-yard punt, no return. South Carolina takes over on their own 18-yard line as they flip the field. Getting close time to that 2-minute timeout as they have first and 10. Hand the ball off to White, who's met in the backfield for a loss of 1. Silas throws this ball, tries to set up the screen, but the defense reads it all the way. Cody Finch will catch the ball, but it'll be a gain of nothing as it brings up a third down and 11. Silas drops back to pass, looking, feels pressure, steps into the pocket, throws it, finds Cody Finch. This time it's for positive yards as he gets a 14-yard gain on the play, and that will be the 2-minute timeout. First and 10 on their own 31-yard line. Hand the ball off to White. White bounces it to the outside, rushes up past the first down marker, and he steps out of bounds for a 12-yard gain. Silas drops back to pass, looking, tries to find Doolittle deep as he overthrows his man, incomplete. 2nd and 10. Nope, 2nd and 5. Neutral zone infraction on the defense. 5 free yards. Silas drops back to pass, looking, can't find anything. He's being chased, and he's going to be sacked. Jamal Bush gets there again. Loss of 3 on the play as South Carolina calls their first timeout of the half as it brings up a 3rd down and 8. Silas drops back to pass, looking, throws it to the outside, flag flies. Cody Fitch jumps up, got it. Complete pass for the first down and more for a gain of 18 on the play. As we look at see what the penalty is. Pass interference on the defense will be declined as they will take the yardage. 1st and 10 from the Georgia 37. Hand the ball off to Doolittle. Rushes ahead for a gain of 4. Timeout again. Silas drops back to pass, tries to set something up, and he cannot complete it to Finch as it falls incomplete. 3rd and 6, throws it again, incomplete, and it will be a 4th and 6 at the 33-yard line. And they will send out Rashawn Haddock, who has been decent on the year, as he lines up for this kick. Haddock has a kicking power of 63, but kicking accuracy of 68. His career long is 54. The kick is up. And it is good from 50 yards out as South Carolina gets on the board finally. Kickoff will be a touchback as Georgia will have it 1st and 10 at the 25 with less than a minute left. Cambridge tries to throw a pass. Fredericks comes down with it, but it's a gain of nothing as South Carolina calls their final timeout. 2nd and 10, handoff to Wood Maple, who gets a gain of 1 on the play. 3rd down and 9. Something happened in between the plays because there's an unsportsmanlike conduct on Jeremy Austin of the offense. 15-yard penalty. It's now 3rd and 22. Austin's an offensive lineman. There must have been some jarring back and forth, as makes it even worse. But they just run the ball away. No gain as South Carolina will get the ball back with time remaining. 60-yard punt, 27-yard return. It'll be 1st and 10 South Carolina at the Georgia 46. Silas drops back to pass, finds Hollister for a gain of 5 on the play. And he catches it out of bounds as they try to set up a deep pass on the next play, and it falls incomplete, and they send out their kicker, Haddock, for a 58-yard try. As Secret's finally taken over the calling for me. Greatly appreciate it. 58-yard field goal try. The kick is up, and it is no good as Haddock did not have the leg for it. His career long was 54. This was way past that as Georgia will take over. And to end the first half, Cambridge will be sacked for a 9-yard loss by Jarrett Lewis as it is 17-3 at halftime. Score elsewhere because I it was tied for it. Uh, in the state of Michigan, they're on a different time zone, so they started an hour later. Or yeah, at the end of the first quarter, Northwestern is up 7-0. Both teams have missed field goals. Riddick missed one from 54. Dixon misses one from 41. And the lone touchdown so far is a completed pass, and Antonio Cox to Maurice Hibbert for 5 yards as Northwestern leads at 7-0 at the end of the first quarter. As most of my games, sponsor is by Dos Equis Lager Especial. When it's game time, grab yourself an ice cold Dos Equis cerveza. Crafted in Mexico. Bottled in White Plains, New York. Stay thirsty, my friends. Mm. Right. Georgia elected to defer, and they'll get the ball to start off. Haddock will kick it, and it'll be a touchback. First and 10, 25-yard line. Cambridge drops back to pass, finds Allen Jackson on the outside for a big gain of 26. First down in South Carolina territory at the 49. Cambridge drops back to pass, looking, flag flies as he throws his ball up in the air, and Fredericks comes down with it for a gain of 16 on the play. Shirley. Don't call me Shirley because it is a holding penalty on the offense. Play comes back, it's first and 20. That kills the drive. Incomplete pass, a rush of two, and Georgia has to punt the ball away. 51-yard punt, 10-yard return, South Carolina on their own 16. Handoff to Brett White for a gain of 12. Handoff to White again. He gets 1-yard gain, second and 9. Silas drops back to pass, looking, flag flies as he throws the ball, as another flag flies, and it's going to be in and out of Jason Hollister's hands as it falls incomplete. But there are two penalties on the play. Offsides on the defense will be declined, but pass interference on the defense will be accepted. First and 10, South Carolina on their own 47. Georgia showing their true colors with the rough, aggressive play. First and 10, hand the ball off to White for a gain of 6. Hand the ball off to Doolittle, who gets a gain of 7 and a first down. Silas drops back to pass over the middle, finds Jason Hollister, who slides down for a catch of 5. Hand off to Doolittle. Doolittle gets it, rushes up the field, and he gets hit hard. The ball pops free. It's a fumble on the ground, but it's going to be recovered by the offense. Brett White picks it up, rushes it forward a little bit more for an additional 10-yard gain after the fumble recovery. A gain of 17 in total. First and 10, South Carolina at the 18. Can they capitalize? Silas drops back to pass, looking, finds Reddick on a hitch route, gets it, breaks a tackle, goes towards the end zone, dives, touchdown, South Carolina. The rooster is crowing now as South Carolina scores a touchdown. The extra point is up and good. It is 17-10 with 7:56 left in the third quarter, and we got ourselves a ball game. Georgia, 2 turnovers, couldn't capitalize on the one there, but they do get the ball back. Kickoff taken from the 7-yard line. Justin Spears gets a decent return of 19, and it'll be first and 10, their own 26. Handoff to Wood Maple, who gets a 1-yard gain. Handoff to James, who gets 1 yard. Third down and 8. Cambridge runs the play action, rolling out. Looks, goes to his go-to man of Allen Jackson, who comes down with it for a gain of 16 on the play. And Dogwood liked that play so much, he runs it again, and for the same exact results as Allen Jackson comes up with another grab for 16 yards. and they're in South Carolina territory at the 40. Handoff to James for a gain of 5, 2nd and 5. Handoff to Wood Maple, gets past the first down marker and falls down for a gain of 7, and it's 1st and 10 at the South Carolina 28. Hand the ball off to James, who gets a 10-yard gain, and it's another first down. This 1-2 combination is getting to the South Carolina defense as they hand the ball off again. Dogwood Maple rushes up the middle, and there's a giant hole, and they were looking for pass as Wood Maple just splits the seas as he walks into the end zone. Touchdown, Dogs. The extra point is up and good as it is 24-10, and there is an injured Bulldog on the field. Um, he was celebrating too much. The starting punter, Christian Celestine, uh, has somehow bruised his quadricep and will be out for the remainder of the game. So backup punter for Georgia is in, but they are up 24-10. Third quarter, 3:52 left. As this will be a touchback, and South Carolina takes over on their own 25. Silas drops back to pass, finds Finch for a gain of 5. Handoff to White, who gets blown up in the backfield for a loss of 2. Handoff to McNeil, who's blown up himself for a loss of 2. And they will have to punt the ball away. 38-yard punt, 18-yard return. Georgia takes over at the South Carolina 46, and another great field position. Handoff to Wood Maple, who gets a 10-yard gain. Handoff to James for nothing. Incomplete pass. Then James gets a big rush there for 10 yards as we end the third quarter. 1st and 10, Georgia at the South Carolina 26, and it's the start of the fourth. Handoff. New name. Alex Burden gets the handoff for a gain of 2. Cambridge completes the pass to, guess who? Alan Jackson for a gain of 15. It's 1st and goal for the Dogs. Handoff to James, who rushes ahead. He gets 7 yards in the play. 2nd and goal from the 2. The 1-2 combination again as Dogwood Maple rushes it in for a 2 yards out as the Dogs extend their lead even further. The extra point is up and good. It is 31-10. 13:21 left in the game. Touchback. USC takes over on their own 25. Silas drops back to pass, completes it to Hollister for a gain of 8. Hand the ball off to White, who rushes ahead. He gets 13 on the play. Silas throws it, falls incomplete. 2nd and 10, another incomplete pass. Silas, completion this time, for it's a gain of nothing. 4th and 10 at the 46-yard line, and they punt the ball away. 35-yard punt, 8-yard return. It'd be 1st and 10, their own 27. False start on the offense, 1st and 15. Handoff to Burden for a gain of 7. Cambridge completes it to Ronnie Fredericks for a gain of 8 and a first down. 1st and 10. Cambridge tries to throw it to Jackson, but it gets batted away, incomplete. Cambridge drops back to pass, throws it to Jackson, who shoves a man as he catches the ball, and he'll get a gain of 13 on the play. But the referee saw the shove as it's going to be pass interference on the offense, making it 2nd and 20, and that kills the drive. Incomplete pass. Cambridge does complete it to Spears for a gain of 14, but it's 4th and 6. Cambridge, 33-yard punt. The backup punter is in there. The starting quarterback is punting the ball for you. Jesus Christ. As it's 33-yard punt, Doolittle gets a great return of 30 yards, only a net of 3, as they take over deep into Georgia territory at the 44. Yeah, 33-yard punt, 30-yard return by Doolittle. Silas drops back to pass, finds Hollister for a gain of 10. Hands off to Doolittle for gain of 4. Doolittle again for gain of 2. Third down and 4. Silas drops back to pass, throws it to Hollister as it's completed for a gain of 11. We have a late flag as it's going to be roughing the passer on the defense will be accepted after the 11-yard gain, 15 free yards, and it's going to be first and goal from the 2. As Corey Silas will hook up to Hollister in the end zone touchdown as there's a flag on the play. Yet again, holding on the defense will be declined. The touchdown will stand as the extra point is up and good. It is 31-17 with 7:13 left in the game. Kickoff, take it from the 6. Spears gets a 27-yard return, and it will be first and 10. Cambridge feels pressure. He has to throw this ball away, incomplete. Crowd is loud as it's going to be a delay at the game for Georgia. It brings up a 2nd and 15. It matters not to them because they hand the ball off to James. Gets a 10-yard gain. Then a 7-yard gain. First down, hand it off to Dogwood or Wood Maple for a gain of 7. 2nd and 3, hand off to James, who gets nothing on the play. 3rd down and 3, hand the ball off to Wood Maple, and it's blown up in the backfield for a loss of 3 on the play, as it brings up a 4th and 6. Cambridge punts this ball away, but Georgia did kill a lot of time. 34-yard punt, no return. South Carolina has it with 3:36 left in the game on their own 17. Silas throws it, gain of 9 on the play. We have an injured Gamecock as Brett White, the starting running back, is taken off the field. Hollister completes it for a gain of 11. Or completes it to Hollister for a gain of 11. Completes it to Hollister again for a gain of 28. And we have yet another injury on the play, as it is the second safety for Georgia to go down. Corey Draper is holding the back of his leg as he is taken off the field. You've had 2 safeties, a linebacker, and a defensive lineman all get hurt this game. You had 5 injuries total. Bloodbath, man. 1st and 10 at the Georgia 35. Incomplete pass. Incomplete pass. It brings up a 2-minute timeout. 3rd down and 10 at the 35-yard line. Hollister cannot come down with it as it brings up a 4th and 10 at the Georgia 35. And they decide to run the ball on a draw play. Doolittle gets a gain of 3 on the play, and it'll be a turnover on downs. Georgia 1st and 10 at the 32-yard line. Just run this ball out and the game's over. They do not heed Dogwood as they go drop back to pass. Cambridge looking, fires, intercepted. Cole McCourty jumps in front of it and gets it and gives the ball right back to South Carolina. 1:46 left, and South Carolina has all 3 timeouts remaining. Silas hands the ball off to Marsh for no gain. Silas completes the pass to Reddick for a gain of 4. 3rd down and 6. Silas drops back to pass, looking, feels pressure. He's going to be dropped for a sack. A loss of 3 on the play as it brings up a 4th and 9. The offense scrambling, get to a play point. Silas drops the back to pass, looking, doesn't see anything down the field, decides he's going to scramble. He runs up field and he gets popped. The ball pops free. And it's a fumble on the ground. And it's going to be recovered by the offense, but it's not enough for the first down, as it will only be a gain of 5 and it'll be a turnover as Georgia first and 10 at their own 44 at the South Carolina 44. They decide to run the ball. Wood Maple gets the handoff, rushes ahead for gain of 2. South Carolina calls the first timeout. Cambridge not listening to his coach as they run a play action. Cambridge looks, finds Fredericks on the outside, and he rushes up the field, and he gets pushed out of bounds for a gain of 23 on the play, and that's going to be first and 10 to South Carolina 19. As now they will hand the ball off. Burden, handoff, 7-yard gain, timeout, South Carolina. Second and 3. Again, passing the ball, but this time to James out of the backfield for a gain of 9, and it's going to be a first and goal for the Bulldogs as they will just kneel this out finally for Dogwood's health as Georgia wins this one 31-17. And a seemed to be a snoozer early but turned interesting later.